Hello, 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 and welcome to the Queen's Table. Y'all, I'm so excited. We have got an awesome episode for you today. I have with me four sister queens, and I'm going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves in just a moment. But I want you to know that what we are talking about today is it's sort of a response to or a companion video to the episode that we did a few weeks ago with our kings. We had four gentlemen on with us that were talking about dating, and what men really think about dating. So if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch it, and then go ahead and watch this one as we talk about, as we continue that conversation. So we're going to get started with introducing the ladies here with me. And first, we will start with Miss Janice Brim, who is with us today. Janice, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Janice, of course. I've been married for 36 years. I have two sons and a grandson. I'm a wellness coach as well as I work for Dr. Daly as well, a chiropractic assistant. I'm also an author too, and I love to write.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you for being with us today, and we will move on to the end of the table down here. Miss Kazari Dixon.
My name's Kazari. My loved ones and my friends call me Z. And I am super excited to be here. A little nervous, so I'm just putting it out there, but I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be present, and I'm just super excited to have this conversation. I
Awesome.
am a creative. I love poetry. I love connecting with
Oh,
people.
nice.
I
Yeah.
love music, making music. And I am also here on staff at Thule Community Development Group as the education coordinator
Yay.
and in training. Thank you. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, and I'm in training to be a case manager. So, like,
Oh,
God is
that's
good.
awesome.
God is good.
Awesome, awesome.
Awesome stuff.
And Tanisha.
Hey, Auntie.
Okay. Tanisha, where do you work?
I work here at Tula Community Development Group.
And what do you
Okay.
do?
I am the intake coordinator here.
Awesome. So, by intake coordinator, what exactly do you do on a day to day basis? You work with families to do what?
Uh, I work with families and individuals to put them in our system that we use, the HIMA system, Homeless Management Information System. And I pair them with a case manager if they need case management. Or right now, what we're doing at Thule is we work with the Barajo Housing Coalition to put people in a program called Rapid Rehousing. So I sit down, I do interviews with them, I talk with them, get on their level, let them tell me what's going on, and then I assess their needs and then do what I can to help them based on those needs.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Tanisha is doing a fantabulous job with that. So,
She
thank
is.
you for that. And now, what did I think one of our introductions of the past video that we did with Dr. Gloria called her the game changer. So,
Girl. Oh.
so now we will hear from the game changing Dr. Gloria Weatherspoon.
Yep. Hey, everybody. So apparently I'm the game changer. um, uh, Let me see. I am all the things. So I'm retired Air Force. I'm a mother, originally from Philadelphia. Currently, what keeps me busy is I'm the chair of the board for the Space Coast Black Chamber of Commerce. I have my own business called Space Coast People Solutions. I am what I'm learning, as you know, you put a title and put a little bow on the things you do. I think maybe the most proud part of me is community influencer. So
Awesome.
I do a lot of just different things in the community and want to get involved just to kind of make things better for us. I just completed a 3-month training course that had me in an internship for a year. So now I'm a certified professional coach from a school
Awesome.
credentialed under the
Awesome. Yay.
International Coaches
Congratulations.
Federation. And they don't play. So
Yeah.
it was a year before I even got, my certificate saying, congratulations, you can go do this for people now. So I
That's
am
awesome.
That
starting my my coaching business. So
Awesome. Awesome. That
That's
is good.
great.
Yes, we need more of more Black women, empowering Black women here in the
Yes.
Space Coast.
Yes.
So
Yep.
big up, sis. Great
excited.
job.
Thank you.
What we are, I'm getting this look from Phil. I don't know what that's about.
I'm just saying, I'm going to fall back on this episode and I'm going to observe and report. And
But you can't be making faces. Come on now.
I'm going to have to, because I'm sure a lot of the stuff you're going to be saying is going to be cringe. So I'm going to be here. And
Okay, Phil,
give
I was
my
very
thoughts.
chill in the room when all the men
You
I
were.
know.
were saying all the stuff they were
I
saying.
saw the episode. You
I
were.
was also defending the women.
Yeah.
I was very chill,
Yeah.
so you're gonna have to, you have to be an ally today.
I am, but I also gotta represent the guys too. So just saying, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna troll you guys. by the
Them
way.
guys ain't in here with you, so you better be careful. I'm just saying.
All right.
Okay. All right. So
Come on, Queens.
So I wanted today, we heard from the men about what dating is like in this, I would say in this culture, at this time, what they're looking for, what's important to them. And I kind of wanted to be able to, I never want anything to be combative or ugly, but I do want for the women to have a platform to respond. I am attempting to stay in the role of observer. Okay. I want to facilitate and moderate. I have some experiences to share. I believe, no, I can't say that. Normally, I'm one of the elder queens at the table, right? So I've had some experiences that perhaps some of you haven't had yet. So I do want to find out though, because when we talked with the men, we had married men, we had single men, we had divorced men. So if you guys don't feel funny about it, where are you? So I am. Do I want to say my age?
35.
I don't want to tell you yet.
Okay, I'm 54. Okay.
So we just say over 50.
I'm over 50 and I have 2 adult children and I was divorced years ago. So I'm pretty much, I will call myself single at this point because the divorce was so long ago and I was only married for 6 years. So I want to find out where we're coming from so that there'll be some context to our comments. So Kazari, what's up with you?
I knew you was going to
Well, we heard from Janice already. Okay, but go ahead.
Well, I am single. I'm not necessarily looking. I'm really focused on like exploring what I want for myself. I'm really in my healing journey, really like starting my healing journey and like looking at my childhood and really being present with myself and learning what partnership within me looks like.
I love
before
that.
That's
I
good.
really am like I desire a partner or I call that in because I really don't believe in where I'm at right now. I don't believe in looking for someone. I believe that God's going to bring me the partner that I need for my life and the things that I know I want out of my life, like having my own family and, just having children and stuff like that. So it's like, that's where I'm
wise.
at. I'm 25 also, so
That's wise.
context.
That's wise. Dr. Gina, let's go to you next.
So I am a 2-time divorcee.
Okay.
Currently in an exclusive dating relationship by accident. So I wasn't looking. But it was just a beautiful man from my past when he heard I was divorced the second time, reached to all my family members to get in touch with me to say, hey, I don't want to bother you, but before you get married again, because you like to do that. These are his words. Before you get married again, because you like to do that, I would like for you to give us a chance.
Oh, that's funny.
And so
That's
that's
good.
where we
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
for a
good.
while. But it's been, it just became exclusive. So I have been dating. So I do have some comments about what dating looks like.
Okay.
At the beautiful age of 47.
Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have 2.
And it is beautiful on you, sis. You're looking good.
Yeah.
I I have 2 boys, 19 and 20, and I also have 2 bonus children, 26-year-old and 25-year-old going to be 26 and 23-year-old going to be 24. So even with my second divorce, I'm still their bonus mom.
Okay, awesome.
I don't care who that joker dates.
Love it. Okay. And Miss Tay.
I am in a relationship and I am 26 years old.
Okay. And your mom.
Yes, I am a mom of 1.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So that out of the way. Tell me what you guys saw. What'd you see in the video? What'd you want to comment on? What sparked your interest in some of the things that the men had to say? Let's start with you, Janice.
Okay, yeah, there was quite a few things. But although I've been married 36 years, I'm around unmarried people and young people too. So don't think just I'm in a box. I'm not. I'm around a lot of people. And what I kind of saw is that those guys are not what the girls that I've been talking to been, really talking about. They've been saying that, the social media, although those guys were saying social media, they show so much, they do, a whole lot of stuff. And that is true. Although a lot of times with the social media, it is a false image. And a lot of women think that that's what the guys want. Like I said, the guys that we were talking to, you guys were talking to, actually showed that they weren't interested in those social media women. So I found that.
But let's break that down a little bit, and we're gonna pull Phil in on this one too. Were they being honest though?
Come on, like I said, the girls were saying something different. They were saying something different.
I know, because I heard them saying like, oh, they just show so much, and but you sitting there watching it. I mean,
I call BS.
Right?
You watch car wrecks.
I call BS. I call BS.
I'm with you on that one.
That.
Yeah. I call BS.
Yeah, because those girls would not be getting the followings, the endorsements, the everything else that they get if they weren't getting the attention to go. I mean, they are getting the attention, which is why people want them advertising their products and everything else. So don't sit. Somebody watching them. Maybe it ain't them guys that was in the room, but somebody watching them.
Somebody watching them. Yes.
Okay. Right. All right. So go ahead. Now you were saying that these guys, Phil is giving me side eye, Victor.
Bombastic side eye.
Criminal offensive side eye.
The women aren't saying that outside of here. They're saying something different there. Those guys were saying something different. I heard different.
So tell me what the women are saying. You're saying it was different. What are they saying?
Well, they're saying that the women get more attention and the guys want that image and not so much the image they were portraying. They want that image that they see on social media, which can be anything. You don't know. I mean, they could be popped up, pushed up. How many times do they take that one picture to get that best pose? And that's what the women are up against.
Yeah. And I agree with you, because then when you are fully covered and you're not twerking, it just seems like you're boring. If you're not showing what they're used to seeing, or if you're not doing things as quickly as it seems like everybody else in society, then you're the one that's going to go on the shelf on the back burner. So yeah, I feel you on that one. Dr. Gina, I see it. Come on.
So I think here's how I look at all of it, right? Like, I call BS. The majority of the people in my family are men. My cousins, I have a lot of male friends. So you can't on one hand say, be honest with yourself. I would say men. You want your woman covered up because you don't want anybody to look at your woman. It's a territorial thing. Say that. Don't try to demonize the women who are, dressing a little sexier. They got nice boobs. Or can I say boobs? You can say boobs. They got nice boobs. So they want to show their cleavage. To me, don't demonize them. If you want your woman to cover, because don't act like you don't want her to twerk at the house, because you do.
I'm trying to tell you.
You just don't want her to do it in public. And to me, that's okay. If that is a good dynamic for that relationship, let it be a good dynamic for that relationship. But to demonize, the women are out here doing X, Y, and Z, don't act like y'all don't like it, because y'all do.
Come on.
So I'll tell you a story about me, right? So when I first got divorced, I took a boudoir photo shoot. Nothing showing, no body parts out.
Yeah.
Just a little sexier than people are used to, because I'm usually like sweats and jeans and suits type of person. So
And where can we find this?
you can't, because I only put it on my story.
Drop the link down below.
I did my story. It was only 24 hours, right?
I'll find it and put the link in the comments.
in the comments. Yes. Put the link in
I'm
the
proud of
comments.
that photo shoot. So, but a year later, after I discussed it with the guy that I was with, I told him what I wanted to do. So I created this reel, and it was super fast, right? So it's about 10 seconds. And it was like 20 photos. And this guy that I know, no previous relationship other than friendly or whatever. He's like trying his best to screenshot it, and he sent me a text. I can't seem to screenshot these photos, and I was just like, "You're creepy. Why are you trying to screenshot these photos?" And he was like, "Well, just send them to me." And I said, "Now, why do you think that you're entitled to my still photos?" He was like, "Well, do your man know you posted them?" I said, "He picked the photos that I posted." Now what? Right? But I think it's a territorial thing. For some reason, he felt like he was entitled to get these pictures. No, I did that because I just wanted to see who was going to respond, how you were going to respond, and whether or not I need to stop dealing with you, because I play games. I'm not just a game changer. I also play games. Because I also had men in my life who were like, "Girl, that was you." I had my friends who are couples. "Hey, Gloria, we having an argument. Was that you? Was that somebody else?" I was like, "No, girl, that was me." Right? So I had men who positively responded because they knew what I had been through. They knew that I had, I had a poor self-image of myself, which made me do the boudoir photo. I looked at myself, because I was told during the hard part of the divorce, "I'm divorcing you because you fell off. You basically, you don't do it like you used to." And I was like, that's BS, right? So when I got that, I felt good, but those pictures was for me, and I held it for a whole year. I didn't share it, didn't put it right on social media. And the minute I did, the difference between my male friends who genuinely love and care for Gloria and the creeps, who are in my face for a totally different reason. So when I posted that, it allowed me to separate the two, and then I separates myself. So
Awesome. It's just, I think you're dead on with, they want certain women to be a certain way and then other women to be a different way. But I don't think it's always that they want the woman on their arm who is fully clothed. Sometimes it's the trophy. I want you on my arm, and I want you. One time I asked a friend, "Hey, my birthday's coming up and I want to go here. Will you take me here for my birthday?" Friend. And this friend says to me, "Well, if you want to go out with me, then you're going to have to get a plunge bra, and you're going to have to wear something that shows cleavage, something that's form fitted."
where was y'all going?
Cheesecake Factory.
Right? It's like it wouldn't have even mattered. It wouldn't have mattered.
I mean,
And you had to
Walmart.
control what you were doing.
Yeah, and then you have to also have a thong. And I was like,
Whoa.
How would you ever know what was under my clothes? Whether I had one on or not, you'd never know it, because it just ain't gonna happen. So he wanted that person on his arm, though. That's what he wanted to show the world, all of this showing. So it's.
But he didn't even know his role as just a friend.
He was a little confused. He was confused.
Was his fault for thinking it was something more than just friends.
He was so confused.
Because if you and I were just gonna go, I'm sure as hell ain't tell you. You can wear a t-shirt. I ain't even gonna mention that. So that's just weird on his part to even. He had the wrong idea there.
Definitely.
I think that goes back to the social media.
That entitlement.
The social media thing.
Yeah,
What they see and they hear, and they're like, all right, now I'm going to do this. And then they get ghosted by everybody, and they're like, women are nothing.
Yeah. So, okay, Tay, what did anything on that video you want to comment on that you saw?
Yes. I want to go ahead and put out there that at any point in our lives as women, we are allowed to go into our soft girl era. And what that means is we are allowed to be feminine. We are allowed to be dainty. We are allowed to be, I can't Can you hand me my purse? Oh, I can't do this. I can't. We're allowed to do that. Even if before you knew me as rough and tough and I could do this and I didn't need no man for this or this. At any point in time, I'm allowed to switch and I'm allowed to go into my soft-care era. We as Black women are always told that don't want that. Or they not looking for that. They don't want a man to do nothing. They want to do everything this. So they want to wear the pants. It's like, maybe I want to wear the pants today, but tomorrow if I want to switch and I want to do this and this and that, I'm allowed to. It's why aren't we allowed to just be who we want to be? And we always have to just fit into this role that men have always perceived and told us that we want to be in. You didn't even ask me or allow me to even experience that. You won't give me the chance to. And I wanted to touch on that.
It's the generalization for me.
Yeah. And I like that. I love that we should have the freedom to move in and out of whatever space we want to be in today.
I agree.
You know, and basically with men, follow me, keep up. You want to be with me, keep up. And I think Marilyn Monroe said, if you can't handle me on my bad days, then you don't deserve me on my good ones. You know what I'm saying? And I should have the freedom and not feel like because I'm this today or that tomorrow that you're going to walk away. I mean, I think that's a part of relationship is that I'm here. I'm here for the long haul. I'm here on your bad hair days. I'm here on your, the days when maybe you need to pop something, a calm down pill or whatever, you need to figure it out. But the fact is that I'm committed and I'm here, and, okay.
I think freedom is,
what?
I think freedom.
What?
I think freedom and safety go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Because I hear so again, spending my whole adult life for the most part in the military, I've always had to lead in every aspect. And in my second marriage, my first marriage ended because it was abusive. It was just ridiculous. But my second marriage ended. I'm about to say his name. Chad. Like, girl, don't be talking about me on that podcast. My second marriage, my ex-husband, he pulled the trigger, right? Because I was trying to run him. And so that's all I knew how to do. And initially, when he worked at night and all these other things, it worked. It was fine because I took care of everything because he was gone all the time because of his job or whatever. But then, he retired and it was like, oh, I don't like this lady. Who is this? But that was the person I had grew into be over 25 something years. So when you say softcore era, baby, I don't do anything. My ex-husband now, I'm all like, oh, somebody needs to hang up my TV. Because the guy that I'm currently in a relationship, he doesn't live here. But he also understands that he would rather me call my ex-husband to say, can you hang up this TV than call Thumbtack and call a stranger and possibly get murdered. Yeah. Like, so his train of thought, he is like, I don't have an issue. But now, like, my ex-husband is, yeah, I got you, whatever. And he doesn't do it alone. Like, he brings my sons and he walks my sons through it. So they actually do it, but he take care of it. But now I'm realizing at 47, one time I was carrying an empty box and the man was like, can I carry that box for you? And the old me would have been like, I got it. But I was like, sure, no problem. He was like, this box is empty. You didn't ask that.
Yep, didn't ask.
You asked if you can carry it. But I had to get there because the personality I had, I'm still very dominant. It doesn't go away. I just know when and when not to apply it. And the man that I'm with now, he's secure in that. He asks my opinion. I ask his. If it's something, it's just, I think, and it goes back to leadership. There has to be, the guy I'm with now, he is strong enough to lead somebody like me. And I feel safe enough to allow him to do that.
Yes. That's the thing.
I have a question. Okay. I love what you said. And how you should be able to switch. Now, I'm speaking in generalities here. Men do not have that freedom. They have to be this person all the time. Or if they cannot fill those certain voids, then women leave. Yeah.
I disagree too.
I disagree.
Karen, your husband couldn't provide for you, so you left.
Okay.
That's different.
That right there. Okay, we need to I felt like at the end of the last podcast that that's the way that was perceived. Because what I said was that I could care for myself financially better than he could. Now, there were a lot of other things going on in that marriage.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
There were
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
other things going on. And by the time I left that marriage, I was about to respond to you and say, yes, we should always be able to switch into our soft girl mode. But then there's been times in my life when I haven't felt like I had the freedom to switch into a soft girl mode. Generally because, and I would think you would think it started after the divorce. No, it didn't. It started during the marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. That I could not be the woman I wanted to be, because if I did, then there would be no leadership in that house.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Now, I remember, and I don't want to, I guess this is the place where this is the safe space, right?
Yeah.
But I remember being pregnant, and there needed to be a crib set up. And it kept being like, oh, I'll get to it. And I was like, it's just not that hard. Right. So one day he went to the store to get something. By the time he got back, the crib was set up.
Together. Yep.
You had to do it.
And I'm pregnant. And the reason I'm pushing him so hard to get the crib set up is because I was getting nearer to my due date.
Yes.
But if I got to do it, I got to do it, because there's got to be a crib when this baby gets back from the hospital, right? Mm-hmm. And it continued from there. It just continued. Everything that had to be done, we needed to move from one apartment to the other. And he wasn't there. I got us moved. Mm-hmm. So that kind of stuff. I did not have time to be a soft girl. I wanted to. God knows I'm the girl that loves sparkly things and jewelry and high heels and makeup and, don't want to break a sweat. Mm-hmm. But I have had to consistently in my life do that. And so when you say my ex-husband could not provide for me and so I left, there was more than just the financial part of that.
Yes.
He could not provide leadership. He could not provide emotional security. I had to deal with other women saying, oh, he this or he that. There was no security. And so it was the straw that broke the camel's back. But if I have to do all of this anyway, and I have to be the man anyway, what I need you for?
Point, period, blank.
If any one of those areas, if there was just one of those areas where he was stepping up, maybe we could have saved this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something.
Something. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, the man can't switch, but they can, because it goes back into how do you start your relationship. If you don't start your relationship on the foundation of we are going to have conversations and say our deal breakers, and this is what I will tolerate, and this is what I will not tolerate. You know that when you have those arguments or those bouts that you're like, okay, this is not my deal breaker. Let's talk it out. And we need to have this conversation, and we need to know what we're going to go on from here on there. I know in my relationship right now, if for any reason I needed to wear the pants or pick up that role and let my man fall back and do what he need to do for his career, I would do that for him, and I would allow him to go into his soft girl era and work on his, if he going back to school, work on going back to school and get where he need to do, or if he's working on getting a license for a trade, work on letting him go to the conventions and doing licenses for the trade or whatever he need, and I will make sure I do that because he did that for me. It's about being flexible in what you guys are comfortable with. A lot of men don't want to do that because they see like, oh, she only here for my money, so I got to make sure I don't ever show her that I'm not going to do it because she going to leave me.
She only here for my money. I only make $35,000 a year.
I'm trying to say, what I'm going to take.
But what I say too, I still say is safety for them as well. Mm-hmm. When a man is in a relationship, he has to feel safe enough to feel vulnerable enough to share with the woman that he is with what he's going through,
and that's
what
I was
his
saying.
Situation is. And if she doesn't provide safety for him, he got to make a decision too.
Right.
And, not even trying to play both sides of the fence again, because, my ex-husband pulled the trigger on me.
Yeah.
I didn't. If he would have not, we'd have both still been in a miserable, loveless marriage. Mm-hmm. But because we valued our friendship more than we wanted the friendship more than we wanted to marriage, he did what he needed to do. Even though I was angry, I was sad, I was upset, I was more embarrassed than anything else because, oh my gosh, I'm 40 something years old and my 20-year marriage is falling apart, and what are people going to think? What are people going to say? But at the end of the day, he had to do, I was not in a space to be whatever his idea of a wife was. Yes. And for me, he wasn't giving me what I needed either.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I don't have any ill intention. Like, people think we weird now. I was talking to him on the way over. I was like, all right, so I'm probably gonna talk about you. I'm gonna try not to say your name. He was like, don't lie though. He was just like, just tell the truth. That's his biggest thing. But I think safety in a relationship for men as well. I am a boy mom. My two biological kids are boys. My stepson is a boy. And I am very passionate about making sure that men who need help get help.
Yeah.
But
I'm about that too.
identifying that.
Yes, I
Because
am
some of
so
these
about that.
podcasts I hear, you like, oh, what your mama do to you? What type of trauma you got going on? Because you sound like you hate us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You sound
yeah.
like you hate us.
Right.
And that is my biggest problem. How can you hate somebody that is a reflection of you?
But that's the thing. They don't hate their mamas. They won't see nobody. You call their mama big or this or that, or
lot of them
you
do
know,
now.
or not worth anything, or only. She's like, don't talk about my mama. My mama was there. My mama struggled. I don't know why you don't want to struggle and do all these things to help take care. Because they think that we will in turn become their mom, so they project their insecurities on black women and call us this and this and that, but turn around and you can't say nothing about their mama. But you talking about your mama because your mama is a black woman. So I don't understand.
I think there's a lot of disconnect in their own minds about that because, and then I have seen a lot of black men who are angry with their moms, are angry with their moms, and that's what kind of comes out against their women. But I wanted to say I always think about this, the movie The Matrix. I don't know what happened to Neo, who was the main character, but Trinity jumped on her motorcycle and was going to mow down anything that was in her way to get there and take care of Neo because something was going on and he was down. And I always think about that when I think about relationships. It's just like there's no way that something's going to happen to the man that I'm in a relationship with, emotionally, financially, spiritually, physically, and I'm not there like Trinity on my motorcycle. I'm gonna jump on that motorcycle and I got you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's fair to say that men can't switch. I think we are there. Black women have always
Been
been
there.
there. I mean, we've always been there to pull our men out, even in our culture in Africa. Black women and black men ruled kingdoms together. The queens were warriors just like the kings. So
But I think that comes to a point of knowing who you with.
yeah.
A lot of times you can't always support somebody who's not going to support you because of what their own agendas are. But they should be able to flow in and out just like you should be able to flow in and out. Like my husband, he was out of work for a while. I took on that role and I did what I had to do as a mother and a wife. And sometimes you have to do that until he gets back on his feet.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to know who that person is. I mean, I got a whole lot of scrutiny from a lot of people who saying your husband's not working. You get a whole lot of negativity and you doing all this and all that. And sometimes the doors are closed tight and they can't get in. So as he was going through his trial times, I got to be there to support him mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I had to do that until he got on his feet. And when he got on his feet, he took that role and he kept going. But even when he was out of work, he still kept the leadership role. But I saw his weak points. But I kept him strong. And that's what a woman should do. And a man should do the same thing to a woman if she's going through the same thing. So to me, I think you got to know who that person is. I knew who Walter was, my husband. That's why I stood by him. And I think that's why that woman rode on that motorcycle, because she knew who he was.
She knew who Neo was.
So you got to know who that person is. I don't know what's the span of knowing a person at the beginning, but I know it takes some time. But at the beginning, you should see certain things, certain traits in a guy.
Yeah.
And I noticed that's what the guys were saying. The women got to have a conversation that means something. They got to have some kind of a talent or something. They just can't be pretty. They got to be more than that. That's what I got from them too. But a lot of women are like boss women. They do have that ability. Are they intimidated by that and then they leave that person? I also got that from single women too. Some men don't want you to be that kind of a person. They want somebody I don't know. I want to throw it out there, control. But I hear that too. or they just leave them. So that's what I'm hearing both ways, but I'm giving my feedback of what I went through. When my husband was vulnerable, I was there for him. And as she was saying earlier about being able to take on something that you want to be able to do, go ahead and do it. And he should still be able to support you in that.
Yeah. And I don't want to get too, I don't want to put my, my pastor hat on and keep it on. But at the same time, one of the things that even when we talk about the creation story or how women were created and where we come from according to the creation story, we came from the rib that covered all the vulnerable parts of a man. Everything that's vulnerable is in that cavity.
Wow.
And the ribs cover that cavity. Our job is to cover our men, cover them, protect them, take care of them, and at the same time, theirs is to do the same to us.
As well.
But I want us to understand, when your man is at a weak point, it's your job to cover him, to make sure that if he's down, ain't nothing else coming at him. I got you.
Gotcha.
But I think social media, I think the media itself has told us that we're supposed to be these boss ladies. They don't say lady, but we're supposed to be these people that just I don't need you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't even know why somebody would want to just completely abdicate their soft girl. I think that's our strength. Our strength is being that soft place where he can land. I've said that before, but our strength is our femininity. Yeah, we can do what they can do, but why? Why would you want to? I don't want to break my nails. I don't want to go mow the lawn,
Probably because they were raised without fathers.
I was raised without a father. I still don't want to.
Yeah, my dad had his own challenges.
I was raised without that too.
But
Yeah.
I think what I think it is you have men who've been hurt, right? But y'all not supposed to show emotion. God knows, don't cry. You don't have emotion. You're supposed to be a robot.
Yeah.
And now we have social media and the platforms are larger. So you get 5 or 6 men and they talk about their trauma and black women ain't this and black women ain't that. And then you have a follower and they're like, yeah, that's what it is. I feel the same way. And I think that's where all of that's come from, right? Instead of looking deeper into, because one of the things that I heard on the podcast where it was, the young man who was never getting married ever. I'm never getting married because all you're going to do is meet a woman and they're going to marry you and play it like they love you and take half your stuff. And I'm like, dudes do that too. I got a homegirl who got big dollars and she in court right now fighting the little lazy bum she married because he trying to take half her stuff.
They doing it?
So people do it, but it's the generalization instead of saying, I had an experience with a woman who was trying to take me for everything I had. It's all of y'all are like that.
Yeah.
When black women are not a monolith.
Right.
We're not a monolith.
Thank you.
And what I learned, dating, right? Like to kind of put it back on topic. What I learned before I decided to get exclusive with the guy I'm with now is that a lot of the men that were in my proximity, it's about what I accepted, right? Just because I'm divorced doesn't mean I'm desperate. Right? Just because I'm 47 doesn't mean I'm desperate. But we listening to Kevin Samuels, may he rest. Wherever he's resting.
Yeah. I don't.
They listen to, people like him and then other people who have these larger platforms. And you want to convince, a woman like me who knows who she is, who knows what her value is and what her worth is. Oh, you're divorced and you got 2 kids. You don't deserve bot.
Right.
And so I think a lot of times that mindset has seeped in from the virtual realm to real life. And you do things like person X, older than me. You like me. You tell somebody else you like me and ask for my number. What are we, 13? Right. Absolutely not. I see you in public. You don't have anything to say, but you have a title. So of course, because other black women have fallen all over themselves for you and it's worked for you before, you think that at 47, I'm going to let you go through a third party to ask for my number. And then I see you, I say hello, and you act weird.
It's the vibe.
Ain't nobody dealing with that, right? So, and you have somebody, somebody wants to date you, but you go on a date and they have absolutely nothing to say if
Yeah.
it's not about who they are and what they're doing
Oh, yeah.
in the community, and I'm this, that, and the third.
That part.
And then they wonder why when you see them, you're like, hey, you never talk to them
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So I think recognizing that black men are not a monolith, right? Because I cannot judge every man that I ever come in contact with by the two people who, for whatever reason, they were duds, right? They weren't firecrackers. I got firecracker now,
Right.
they were duds, right? So I think that's our issue, why we can't communicate, why we can't have these conversations, because you have men who talk to men about why women think the way they and like, what are you talking to each other for?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But you don't want the confrontation. So I think there has to be a space and a place where you have somebody who has the emotional intelligence level to be like, okay, so I hear you. However, did you consider bot?
Yeah.
And I watch a lot of the, you'll have the podcasts and people will be in the comments and they're arguing. I'm like, what are you arguing about? Right? I'm going to let you own that. But what I would love for men to stop doing, in my experience, talk about the experience that you had.
Yeah.
Because we feel some type of way when you are co-signing and we watch what, people in our sphere are posting. I have a good friend go through a breakup and why do all women do bop? And I'll be wanting to be like, I'm like, do I have the emotional currency to deal with this? I don't. So I go have ice cream. Because I'm not going to argue with you about your experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that we are in a space where the tide is turning, right? Black women more of us are educated, higher education. We're making a lot more money. And I think the confusion comes in when we say we don't need a man. That doesn't mean we don't want or desire one.
And that's
what we're saying is, I'm not going to put up with being abused, being misused, being mistreated just to have a man in my life.
And that's one of the questions I asked on the previous podcast was, men are so caught up in you don't need me, but why aren't you concerned about whether or not I want you? If I need you, that's sort of almost like a controlled type desperation type issue. I don't want to need you. I want to want you, and I want you to want me. I don't want you to need me. I don't want you to need me for your daily survival. I don't want that. I want you to want me there because you love my smile. You love the energy I bring. You love how I help you get to the next level. That kind of thing.
Right.
But that desperate, I need you or I can't go on. I don't want, nobody needs that in their life.
No.
It's too much pressure for anyone.
I hear someone who does have that higher education that some of the guys are intimidated by that. And they do want somebody. But the men look at them as being that they don't need a man. Just because you got higher education does not mean that you don't want a man. Yes, you do want a companion to go places, do things, and enjoy life. And he should want the same thing. But a lot of the guys think that these women got everything because they got an education. They don't need a man. Yes, they do need a man.
But see, they say that we look at them as if they are money.
Right.
But they're saying that when they say we don't need them because we've got money. They're taking away everything else that they bring to the table.
Because
I'd like to ask that question too. I'm so tired of what do you bring to the table? I'm flipping the table. Have a conversation.
I think a lot of men put their value on money.
Of course.
Because that's how society puts it on them. So when the woman already has it, they feel like they don't have any value to bring to them.
Yeah, and I feel like I need your presence. I need you in my life. We both got money, or we both don't got money, or it's unequal in some way. But the fact is, what you bring into my life as far as protection, covering, companionship, I need you, not your money. I can make money. There
you go. Come on now. You can make money. You need that companionship. You can't be a companion to yourself.
Right.
And I don't think they touched on it, but that did you guys want to hit on that 50-50 thing that's been going around? And it's always been there, but now we've been talking about it a lot more, and I've been seeing a lot more of it on social media. And I've been proud to see that a lot more Black men are coming and saying, no, you cannot want to do 50-50 with the woman and then not do, it's not 50-50, it's 10-90, because you just paying bill A, B, and C, but she paying bill A, B, C, D, coming home, taking care of the children, cleaning, and then worrying about what she has to do to help you out as well. It's never 50-50. And I do not believe in 50-50 at this point. I'm like, it may work for some relationships early on when you figuring things out, but in the long term, I don't think a relationship will work if you guys just do the 50-50 mindset, half.
Is it just financially or
Everything, emotionally, everything. They don't do the 50-50. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm paying half the bill, you pay half, and then we're gonna. No, I need you to financially, and then we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna take care of the household together, and then we're gonna learn about each other. You have to want to learn about what I like, my hobbies, and then want to participate in the things that I do, and also I will participate in the things that you like to do. Learn about you and learn. They don't think like that. They think, oh, women these days, they don't want to go 50-50 because they want you to pay all the bills, and they want you to take care of them while they sit around and just get the nails done and do. And it's like, no, I'm not even going to have that conversation. Like, if you bring a 50-50, you're not talking to me.
Depends on the woman they're talking to.
I just don't like
the woman they're talking to, because not all women like that. Some of us like to work. Some of us like to have businesses and things like that. I don't know who they're talking
Right. So I'm saying, like, they think 50-50 is only financially. I'm like, no, 50-50 involves the emotional aspect and as well as the entire relationship. If you want to cut it in half, you got to cut all of it in half.
All of it.
If I could share, so I saw this video with Brene Brown, and I think for me, just addressing the emotional part, she said that her and her husband will, like, at the end of the day, he'd be like, I only got 30%.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yep. And she's like, all right, it was a great day for me. I got you. I'm going to take the other 70%.
Yeah.
Or they both look at each other and be like, I'm 25. And you're like, I'm like a 10. And they sit down and come up with a plan on how to be kind to each other. Because I think for the most part, like financial, you can figure out all those other things, but it's the emotional jousting that we do to each other when both of us are running low on emotional currency. And I think that helps marriages to sustain through other tough moments.
Yes.
But like that emotional balance, discussing and allowing, that allows, I feel like, the man in a relationship to be like, I don't got it today. Here's where I am today.
Yes.
This is what the world is doing to me today.
That's right.
And I think that level of understanding helps balance relationships, whether you're married in the relationship or really close friends.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Something about that bothers me though, because I want to understand why we're quantifying and measuring, because, and maybe I'm just being,
I hate it too.
Yeah.
I hate it too, because like in my situation, it's honestly 100-100.
right?
Because like everything in my being that I know that I can do, I do. That's just who I am.
good, Phil.
And the same thing with my wife. She does everything that she can do. Now, granted, financially, she doesn't have to worry about a thing, because our situation, her job is taking care of our special needs child. That is 100% 24-hour job. So for me to be able to pay the bills, that's easy.
Right.
So it's 100-100. You know what I mean? There's no I only got 10% today. I still have to do what I have to do. Granted, I do understand sometimes we're just not in it, but as a household, it's 100-100. It has to be 100%. I can't put a number on how much I'm contributing to my family. It's always 100%.
But then it's also, I think it's a matter of also privilege, because maybe he has the privilege of saying, I only have 10% today, but because we make all of this money, then we'll just hire so-and-so to go and do the part that I can't do. We don't have that, I don't.
Outsourcing.
We just outsource it. And, I don't feel like I can cook dinner tonight. So let's just bring Chef Larry in, like, come on, seriously, we don't have that. So even when we only have 10%,
yes,
come on, single, raised 2 kids by myself. Lots of times I only had 10%, but guess what? Figure it out, because I'm sorry, that other 90 gonna have to come from somewhere. You just got to do it. You just got to do it.
Exactly.
And I think that's part of what also makes that's part of what makes the soft girl go into remission because it's just like, I got to press through. I got to push. I got to do it, you know?
That's why I said the 50-50, it's harder. It will be harder on the woman. And it is usually, when you think about it, it is usually harder on the woman, because if a man is coming in the beginning of the relationship and saying, okay, let's go half, or we're going to find a place, I can't do all of it, let's do this, let's do that. And then you get there to that point and you realize he's not picking up anything. You're doing all of the work. You picking up extra shifts. He's eating up all the food, not going grocery shopping because he don't know how to grocery shop. He come home, bring home my bag of hot Cheetos in Arizona and think that's going to last y'all for the week, but not trying to learn or try to, do. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I believe. Like, at the beginning, 50-50 isn't going to work. You guys need to figure out, like, if you can do this and we're going to be together in the same household, there is no, like, 50-50 unless it has to do with emotional, or that's what they decided that's what works for them and that's what they want to do. Because no relationship is one size fit all.
That goes back to dating, like the guys were saying. Yeah. What are you seeing at the beginning? If they don't know how to do this, are they able to learn how to do that? The guys themselves? I know women, they adapt to certain things too, but that's one of the points they were making. If you're not able to do certain things, can you learn how to do that? Are you able to teach them how to do that? Yes.
Or do they want to?
Well, they're going to have to if you want that 100%.
But some people will look past that because they don't want to be alone.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So we settle for the 50-50 and then we say, I'm tired of working. I can't do this. I can't do that. Is it okay if I need to take a day off? And then he's like, no, you can't take a day off. I'm not taking no days off. You can. And then we were talking about not being able to go into your soft girl era. And it starts at the beginning for me. I'm like, if you dating,
it starts from the beginning. Exactly.
Yeah, it starts at the beginning.
I agree, because you got to see something in that person that's not going to allow you to do certain things. If you listen to what that other person is saying, they're bound to say something that's like, check your spirit. So I always look at it at the beginning. There should be something that checks you. It's like, all right, take notes. A lot of times what I tell my young ladies that I speak to, don't talk too much at the table. Let him talk and hear what he's saying. Because he's going to say something that's going to make you check your spirit. It's going to be a deal breaker, or maybe I can work with it.
Or a red flag that you just need to kind of
red flags.
Yeah, exactly. That you just have to kind of dig into that area and say, ask a few more questions to get some more information. And honestly, I'm glad we got back into talking about the dating and from the beginning, because that's the thing. What are the red flags? What have been red flags that you've seen or whatever? And because Ari, we ain't heard from you in a minute, so
I'm just taking everything in. Y'all have such like thoughts that I never really thought about like that. So your question was,
what are red flags? What have you seen, or what scares you away? What could?
Well, one of the things that I've noticed that I do not like is when someone is basically impeding on like or not respecting my schedule, or like what the things that I have going on. Like recently I communicated with this guy that I'm texting, and we're friends. It's nothing that it's a friendship, and like I told him, I have a lot going on. I'm working on like stuff with a different project, with the tech tournament, and training and things like that. And he'll text me. It's kind of like how do I say? He'll text me like, "Hey," with exclamation points, and I'm like, I kind of just explained to you that I have a lot going on, and why I just don't really understand why. I don't understand why. It feels like he's
rushing a response.
Yeah, rushing a
like
response.
Like he texts back to back, and like to make his emergency your urgency.
I guess so. And it's not that I don't have the space to like. It's not that I won't make time to talk, but like when I'm not available, I'm not available, and that's a boundary that I have. And that
I feel that because and there's been times when people will just like, "What's up?" And it's like it puts the onus on you to carry on the conversation. And it's like, if you want to text me in the middle of the day, say, hey, I've been thinking about you. I'll talk to you later. You know, so it doesn't require a response from me. It doesn't require me to come out of what I'm doing when I already told you I got a lot going on, right? So if you want to just check in and say hi, then say that, but don't pull something from me like I'm required to respond now that you've said hey. And I have to make up the conversation. You know, like that I feel that. I totally get it.
That's a big red flag.
I really need my time to be like respected and valued, like especially in this stage of my life to where I'm building and creating the life that I see and that, you know, the life that I see in my mind and I'm creating that. That's definitely a red flag for me. Like I'm not.
You just got to be able to accept that, you know, and respect that.
Yeah.
And those are things that you look for right there.
Yeah. What about you, Dr. Glory? What's a red flag that you've come across?
I think I'm like Z. Red flag is not respecting your time. So I was communicating with somebody over text, and it was my son's prom weekend. And the person was like, "Are you busy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm busy, you know, all weekend." And it was like, "Well, what are you doing?" I said I was busy. Right? Like it was like we've never broke bread together. We've never, you know what I mean? Like you don't get to ask me, well, what are you doing? I don't care if I was sitting in the bed eating popcorn, watching Hallmark movies. I just said I was busy. So eventually, you know, like, and some of the other men in my life was like, you're mean. I was like, I am not mean because you don't text somebody at 2 PM to ask me if I want to go to dinner at 6. Even if I was busy, I'm never busy. I mean, I'm never going to be available, right?
Right.
Because to me, somebody who doesn't put the time and effort to understand, there's nobody who's met me or been around me that don't know that I do a bunch of stuff. So if you really wanted to spend the time with me, you would plan accordingly. And I think somebody who doesn't plan accordingly is just probably going to waste my time anyway because they don't value it already.
Right.
So that for me, like that last minute and then asking me the follow-up, like I owe you that answer, is definitely a no-go for me.
Okay. Okay, so y'all one of the red flags that have come up recently, maybe I'll give you two, but one of them was I was talking to a guy and he was telling me things like I hope you don't ever see this. But he said I have a slight wrist like a woman's. He said that to me. He has a slight wrist.
I don't know what that means.
He wanted to tell me how delicate he was and how and I was just like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with that.
You cross the street.
Yeah, like what? I don't know what. But it was like he wanted. I was like, you want my role. You want to be the one that go. And then he was like, well, let's plan some facials. Wait, what? I'm not looking for a girlfriend right now. I have enough girlfriend. That was just like, what are we doing here? That was like, I had that one that got cut quick.
That won't work.
I don't know. I think I would like that. You want to go get a massage? And let's go in the steam room? All right, I'm getting the cucumber milling. What are you getting?
Okay, you know what? That would be fine.
That's
then I'm going
That's
to
marriage.
go and look for if I'm still interested in a relate. That wouldn't be the relationship. That would be like hanging out with one of my girlfriends. Yes, you know that's not the guy that I'm gonna.
The guy, no.
That I'm gonna believe that if something popped off, if something went down, that he was gonna have my back. You know, that's not him. Exactly. I'm gonna be like,
fight for you.
oh no. So okay, so that was one.
White wrist? Nah.
That's Karen's red flag.
I think it
That's a
depends.
green flag for
I
me.
think it depends on like the situation, right? Because I love a man that takes care of himself.
Oh,
I want you to have
yes.
smooth skin, soft hands, and nice feet. I want you to have all of that. But I think if it's let's plan a facial versus it's like your birthday and we going here and you're being treated. I want a man that I do want a man to take, but it's like I need a balance. Like I need to know that he'll break somebody's neck for me.
Exactly.
And he got super soft lips and skin. Like I need both. I need a man who could do both.
So it's the approach that it's either a green flag or a red flag, and his approach was a red flag because it was too much. Like
no, I don't want. No.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you, and I respect that. But if he got soft hands, ew.
Calluses.
You like calluses?
I
mean, Jacob almost cut my mouth the other day. When
And here you go. What I said, we are not a monolith. Men, if you are watching, we are not a monolith. If you don't get our time, we just don't like you.
yeah, yeah.
Period.
But soft hands, it's just
Soft
like, have you
hands,
ever
no.
done a hard day? And if you needed to do something, could you?
Right.
You know, are you willing to get calluses? You know what I'm saying?
I want like an IT guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's different. That's okay. You can be an IT guy. But still got to be able to throw some hands at the
Yeah,
end.
like
Right.
on the weekends, I need you to be like
Be
building
Fight
something.
Club.
Yeah, something.
What was the you said you had two?
I
What's the
did.
other
I
one?
did have a second one, but it might be gone now.
No.
So I'm not. I don't know if I remember what the second
Okay,
one was.
but Z, you wanted to touch on because I was like, that's a green flag for me.
Oh,
if I
yeah,
was like,
the facials.
if he
love
came
that.
off like very soft, dainty, like
Oh, God, no. Dainty?
in his soft girl era, would that be a red flag for you? Because it's not for me.
I mean, I just think that I think differently. I think differently when it comes to like roles, gender roles, all that stuff. I'm a queer Black woman, so I've dated women and I've also dated men. And my thing is like, I guess I'm in this middle point to where I'm not allowing certain gender roles to make me see someone as less than who they are. Like I'm open. So say if I'm talking to a guy and he wants to get a facial for me, I'm like, okay, I love that you're taking care of yourself, and I don't see that as less of who you are. I don't allow that to change how I see you or how I relate to you, because my perception of that is just different. My understanding of that is different. I receive that differently. So that would be a green flag for me, because I would love to go and get some facials with you.
Right,
so
because
okay.
I wouldn't say that, oh, maybe if he couldn't, he still couldn't beat somebody up, because I see men who break off their acrylics and go
wow.
face to face on TikTok, and I'm like, ooh.
Okay, so but let me explain. I am not saying that men should not get facials. That's
Right,
not
right,
what I'm
right,
saying.
I understand.
But I'm saying that in a
I don't want to
relationship,
go get one with you.
in a relationship, don't take the space that I'm supposed to be in. And now all of a sudden, I've had a guy like lean on me, like want me to,
Caress him in his hair.
and it's just like, okay, I don't know. I want you to be the strong one, and me to be able to be in my soft girl mode.
Dang, we can't be vulnerable.
He can be vulnerable. Absolutely, he
want a
can be
hug.
vulnerable.
Damn.
I'm not talking about a hug. Y'all aren't here. I'm not talking about just a hug. And when you put all those things together, you want to go get facials. You want me to be your strength. You talking about your dainty wrist. Too much. Sorry. No.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
respect that.
Man, I want a man in my life. You know what I'm
Right. I
saying?
think that's
Right,
where the
right.
dating comes in at, because you don't just take, like the comment about the wrist, and you
Right.
don't just take the facial, you take everything,
Yeah.
you know, as a whole. And I think that's why, one, I don't think dating should be exclusive. I think you should date, right? And that doesn't mean sleep with a bunch of people.
Right,
it
right, right.
means
Dang it.
date
Get
to
to know.
get to know people.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're not going to know what you like, what you don't like, what you accept, what you don't
Yep.
accept.
Yep.
And then when you make the choice to be exclusive, you've already was like, yeah, I'm good because the dating pool's peed and I'm good over there.
Yes.
I like this
Yes.
person. They're giving me, and
Yeah.
it might not even be 100%, because I have a friend who, like, the whole list thing, created a list, became the list, and now she's married to her forever bae, right?
Beautiful.
And so for me, I'm like, okay, you know, I have friends who are like, this is my list. It's 50 things on here. They got to meet all 50. And I'm over here like, I'm trying to see if I walk down the street and you make me walk on the outside of the inside. Like, those are the things
yeah.
that I'm looking for without me asking, have I ever touched a door with you?
Yeah.
Have I, you know, not even necessarily if we go somewhere to a fancy restaurant with friends, right? And you got a man and your man don't necessarily have it, right? How do you still allow him, depending on what he thinks that role is, right? How do you still allow him to maintain his dignity, but you know, you help him out?
Yeah.
Because maybe y'all know, it just, I look for just so many different things. How does that man react when you go home and be like, let me tell you about what they did to me at that job? You like, we need to get in the car and go beat somebody up.
Yeah.
Even if he's joking, right?
Yeah.
But you know that he got your back. So I think for me, you take the whole of that
Yeah.
man.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think it's hard to talk about like on a limited podcast because it probably was other things where you were just like, nope. And the whole risk comment was like, and that's it. Right?
That's last
We're
time.
done.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the whole of things. And so I agree with with the not having gender roles too. But the older I get, the more I'm like the man that I am attracted to, he is a gender role person. So I'm not going to do the things that I know he likes to do, which was a mistake in my last marriage. I also did the things that he liked to do, but the lack of communication, he didn't tell me. And like I said, like my ex-husband now, I ask him for stuff. He'd be like, when you need it. He'd be so excited. And I'm like, oh, dang, is this what you want? Too late. You got a girl, I got a guy's over, right?
Right.
But now I'm starting to understand a little bit more. I kept driving in this lane because he was a gender role person. I kept driving in that lane and it did something to him. You know what I mean? Where he felt like mentally, and emotionally he wasn't being fed. And I think, I'm an advocate for us taking care of our men, but I'm also an advocate for our men not acting like they hate us and not recognizing that. And somebody gonna get mad. They always do. Black women are the most disrespected group of people on the planet. I don't care what anybody say. We are criminalized, we are dehumanized, and we are ostracized in so many different areas of our life that when it comes from a black man, it hurt different.
Oh, yes, it does.
It hurt different. It feel
Yes.
different, even if they're not talking directly to us.
It does.
Even if we recognize it's a generalization. It's like, seriously, et tu, Brute? You like, really?
Exactly.
Really? So I think that's where the miscommunication and the combativeness in dating, comes from. Because it hurt different when it's y'all.
Yes.
Who's ever watching?
Janice, it looked like you were trying to say some stuff off camera. What were you going to say?
Oh, I think it was like Doc was saying, it's an overall thing. I mean, I don't mind the facial stuff, but I don't want that at my table when I first meet you. I don't want to hear that.
Exactly, right?
Gotta work up to that.
I don't want to hear all that. That we can talk about later
It's too
on.
much. Too much.
But at the beginning of my table, I want us to have fun, giggle, laugh, kind of get a feel of who the person is, how his vibe is. If you come to me talking about you like facials and your nails done and all, and your wrist is soft, then you already lost me. I'm sorry. I'm not being judgmental because I don't mind you getting facials and taking care of yourself.
Right.
But I don't want that at my first table. No.
Yeah.
Because he's already telling you what he expects right off the rip. And
Right
you're
off the bat.
This is not what I want for myself. And that's why people skip the dating and then they go straight into heavy deal relationship. Nobody really wants to date anymore. They want to, I met you, I like you, we're together, we'll get to know each other later.
That's scary. That's scary.
That's why I'm like, if I
That's
had to
very
date now,
scary.
I'd be
That's
lost. I couldn't date right now.
I think that comes with because I've been that person to where I jumped into relationships, and I had to sit down with myself and realize where that was coming from and my own thought processes based on like my childhood and stuff like that, and the lack that I felt when it came to connecting with someone. Like I was in a stage to where I needed to be in a relationship in order to feel like good about myself, to be honest. And like it took me sitting down with myself and doing and being comfortable being alone, being comfortable getting to know myself, being comfortable loving myself and accepting myself. I feel like when we are looking at relationships, for me, when I'm looking at relationships now, I have to know that that person is loving themselves, like really loving themselves. Like I want to be with someone who recognizes the love that God has placed within them and allows that doesn't stop that love from coming through. Doesn't block that love from whatever trauma they have, whatever grief that they're experiencing, whatever their past is. I don't want to be with somebody who blocks that love from coming in. And it's so many ways that we can stop stop love from coming in. We can stop acceptance from coming in, understanding from coming in. And for me, that is what humanizing myself looks like. That's what humanizing my partner looks like, my friends look like, community looks like. I feel like romantic relationships, the foundation of them should be self-love. That's just what I feel.
That's good. That's good.
I think so many people though
So poetic.
get into relationships broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, and also, let me put myself on camera. And also, because of social media, this is definitely social media to blame, is that we live in a transactional
Oh yeah.
time period.
Oh, that's hard.
You know, we
Yes.
can have whatever we want at a swipe or a push of a button.
Yes.
So whether it's relationships, sex, food,
Yeah.
I can get that. I can call a hooker right now if I want to, and a pizza.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and so when people are when they try to get into relationships, they still look at relationships through a transactional space.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
when you're looking at it through that space, you're already kind of doomed, because the thing with older people in their relationships is that they actually had a chance to get to know each other, you know? And so people now who are starting to get into relationships, we have to battle. I'm saying we. I'm not in that zone. Yes,
we all.
those people have to battle the facade of what
You're right.
people are presenting as themselves
You're
on
right.
social media.
Exactly.
And I feel that sometimes they get lost in that
Yeah.
mess.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that transactional thing is so big, because I have I've been in situations where, especially having been single as long as I have, I've been in situations where it's just like, hey, can you do this for me? This is broken. You know, call up a friend. Can you do this? Can you do that? And I have actually had someone
Don't say
say
it.
to me,
Don't say it.
don't say it.
You gonna give me some?
Not even, yes, basically that's it. Well, when are you going to do this for me? Or I'm not doing another thing for you until you do this. And I was just like, so I have learned, ladies, I have put in my own garbage disposal. I have done everything there could possibly be done in a house, because it's just like, oh, you think that just because we were both on this thing where we're both speaking at strategies of successful women, me and Dr. Gina, and there was something that you said that has been sticking with me from then on. Every time somebody told you what you couldn't do, you were like, hold my beer.
Yeah, I can show you.
I would learn.
And I can tell you.
And
Yeah.
I will go on YouTube. I will do what I have to do. But if you think that I'm going to open myself to you because I need a garbage disposal put in, are you kidding me?
Wow.
You know, it's just like,
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because not me, but men have this ideation that if I deposit enough tokens of goodwill, I can get what I'm looking for. And
That's the good guy.
I don't
Yeah.
even know if
I'm the good
they
guy.
want to deposit anything. So again, true story. You young ones, about 37 years old, don't want to deposit nothing.
No,
it
they
was,
don't.
hey, I didn't know when you and your old man got divorced. So you, what did he say? He didn't ask me if I want to be his sugar. You need a sneaky
Sneaky link.
Yeah.
Sneaky link.
yeah. Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
no, not interested. Thank you though. Oh, and then the pictures came.
Oh no, we didn't.
I was like, and I'm a fool, so I'm like, okay, big so and so. That was it. He was super excited. Boy, never. And so I had to explain, why would I ever put myself in the most vulnerable position a woman can be in? Is
Thank
naked. I don't have a
you.
gun. I
Thank
don't have a
you.
knife. I don't have clothes. I don't have anything. What makes you think because you're like, oh, I always thought you was fine,
Oh,
I'm supposed to give you my body?
Wow.
Are you serious?
wow.
Dead serious.
because it's easy now.
Even right, and so I'm just like, that's why I get the monolith thing, right? Like, don't generalize, because when I was telling my girlfriends about it, it was like, oh, that works for that young man.
Yeah, it has to
did
work.
too.
Feel
It's
confident.
worked.
And I think if I could sit down with other women and be like, you have, your greatest asset is between your shoulders, right?
Right.
You don't need to just give somebody something because they told you
Right.
that they like you or they sent you a picture. You're like, oh, that's nice. Like sometimes it's just better to not put yourself in a position with that. And I'm weird, I guess. If that person wanted to kill you, they absolutely would, and you
I
couldn't even defend
know
yourself.
it's the most vulnerable
It's scary.
position I think in sex and in childbearing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we are just. And when I was pregnant, I felt like I remember being in a situation where I had a little baby by the hand, my daughter, and I was pregnant with my son, and big and pregnant with my son, and a dog came and was barking and was rushing at us, and I was just like,
You better call up Dainty Hands. Call up Wrist Boy.
Dainty was probably running, you know?
Dainty would pick up the baby girl, and run.
No. He was busy getting a
Dainty
facial.
I was about to say that. Dainty was getting a facial, baby. He didn't have time to be playing with y'all and no dog.
So yeah, but could you imagine at that moment? It was
Yeah.
just like I was scared to death. It's the only time ever I straight cussed somebody out.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, how you just gonna let that dog? You see me,
Yeah.
you know, and I was, and it was just like that was the most vulnerable moment of my life, you know, and I said I will never be in. I was married. I said I will never be in this position again. But yeah, the most vulnerable that we can be, we are allowing ourselves to be put in that situation with people we don't know.
Right.
That scares me.
So one thing that we talked about on the Secret Show, which I'll release eventually. You know, you pay $5.99, you'll get it. We talked about body counts.
Body-
Body
Yeah.
counts don't matter.
Discuss.
Oh,
I think it's irrelevant,
Yeah,
right? And
it's
again,
so
I think it's like a okay, here's what I think. Here's what I think for real. Okay, so a man is concerned about body count for what, right? You want somebody with a low body count. Is it because you want her to think that you're the best thing since sliced bread because you really don't know what you doing?
right.
Or, you know, like, I feel like it's just to be a deeper dive. Because for a man to be like, well, how many people you slept with? That's a red flag for me. Why do you care?
Why do you care?
Why do you care? Because if I'm popping it on a handstand and you like it, you shouldn't care.
Right.
You shouldn't care.
Like,
You should want
he's
me to
trying
know what I'm doing.
Figure out where
We're
you learned it
grown.
from. Like,
We are grown-ups. If I didn't explore what I like, you be getting dead fish, dead wood, whatever. And then you'd be talking about that.
Yeah.
You don't even know what she doing. Make your mind up. Do not ask the questions you don't want
Right,
the answer
right,
to.
right.
You're going to get mad for me because I'm going to be like, oh, I don't remember.
and
Then you're going to be mad.
Yes, and then they
I
get
do
on the
remember,
podcast
but
and
then
talk
I'm
about
going to say I don't remember.
Pillow
No,
princess,
we
pillow
won't
princess.
know.
These girls don't know how to do.
okay, but you didn't want nobody that know how to do nothing. You 45, and you out the high school getting these fresh ones off the
You don't
street.
know.
Talking about they got low body count. They ain't out there doing all this. I can't get a woman
Because
with
they don't know
kids.
what they doing. That's why.
That's why.
Because you really don't know. Because if you was out here spreading
started
joy,
this.
then you would be able to be like, because you would have ran into a woman already that's been like, not like that, but maybe like this. Oh, that was good. You got to figure it out.
Right.
So it's like, what do you want from her? You want her to be a porn star, but not really. Like, how you think people get there? Stop playing.
Like, they always thought that I want a lady in the streets, but a freak in the bed. But it's like, can you even perform?
No, that's why they want the low body count.
Yeah, because it's like, no.
Because she don't know no better.
All right, and we're taught to
Ain't
just
got nothing to
take it.
compare it to.
Just like that's the best I'm gonna get. So I guess it's just this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We're taught to settle for that.
Yeah.
So that's another
No
leverage
point
for
of
them.
reference.
Right.
Yeah, no point of reference. Be like, that was whack. I've had better. You ain't want that.
Or the question of did you finish? Well, I am finished here.
Good night.
Have a great day. Good night.
You know, one thing that I didn't really understand until recently was how often women get approached, right? Because it doesn't happen to men. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And like how much of a guard you have to have
Yeah.
on you. Because, you know, my wife is a very beautiful woman, and she does all things on her own that she needs to do because I'm busy working at the gas station, at the grocery store, picking my son up from school. Like, it's pretty dangerous. And I'm sure you've heard those situations where a man has been turned down and he shoots and kills a woman.
Or stalks her.
Absolutely.
How? So my question to all of you is how do you protect yourself and protect your peace from all of these outside people trying to get at you for certain things?
A taser.
So y'all still looking?
I just I just tell
Yeah.
them I'm
Concealed
married
carry.
and I keep it moving. You know, a lot of times I am approached. Even when I go on conventions, I'm approached. But it's how you manage that at the beginning. I tell them I'm married, and I said thank you for admiring, and I keep moving. That's
Okay,
all
y'all
I
gonna
do.
have to pray for me because I tell them the same thing, and I'm not married.
Yeah.
Do you have a fake ring?
If I need to, yeah, I have it. But I don't normally go that far. But they'll sometimes say like, are you spoken for? Or do you have somebody you're in a relationship? Yep, I sure am. Thanks. You know,
See, but I
and I'm
think,
not.
Yeah.
So.
So I think oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying. I think it's definitely a generational thing because you know, when if a guy sees you and he's the same age as you, he's gonna come at you respectfully.
No,
No,
They
No.
don't always do that.
I would
No.
assume.
no.
No.
That's like that's
Not
why I
at
was like,
all.
you know, I'll go first.
No,
Not
I've
So
at
how do you
all.
meet
No.
somebody then?
So
if he does come respectfully, if he
a different
does
outcome.
seem to be someone that I can I would be interested in getting to know, then maybe I'll give him the real deal or whatever. But these jokers that's walking up, riding up on bicycles and all that kind of stuff, and you on crack and you got your brown paper bag with you, all of that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm married. I'm so
no,
married. You know what I mean?
no.
But
I think I saw that guy down the
That
street.
would make me nervous. I
yeah.
would be nervous with
Yeah,
that.
and
one.
it's like I have someone told me it's like I have a barrier around me, and I feel like you almost have to, but I know who to let in, and I know who to keep out.
I think though with how unpredictable unpredictable people are, like I feel like in my mind there should be more self-defense classes for even teenagers, teenage girls, younger girls, adolescent girls, like adolescent women. Like there needs to be more self-defense classes to where if we are in a position to where we feel uncomfortable, we know how to protect ourselves and defend ourselves. And I would love to see more of that and be a part of more of that, because it's a need. Like if a guy approaches me and I really am uncomfortable, like I find myself I will freeze and I will just keep going. Or
And that sometimes
That's
makes them
dangerous.
angry.
That is
makes
dangerous.
me mad.
That is dangerous. But
Yeah.
that's the truth sometimes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That's why
for
I
me,
said
I
taser.
avoid. So I don't spend a whole lot of time. Like I won't go places if my girlfriend's not going with me, right? So there's been events that I wanted to attend that if my girlfriend's like, oh, I'm sleeping, like if I can't find at least one person to go with me, I won't go. So I try to not keep company with a group of men. I've gone to nope, I haven't. If I have to actually trust that person, so if it's like a one-on-one. But I already have an established relationship with you. You know where I sit. You know what these barriers are. But around new men, I don't. I try my best to avoid to keep company, and I have a concealed carry license. So if you get stupid with me, you get two to the chest, one to the head. We the conversation's over.
Right.
But it's because my ex-husband was very adamant about making sure that when I wasn't with him, I was able to protect myself, because I've seen the videos of coming out of a convenience store and it's a bunch of guys hooting and hollering and doing whatever. I always talk.
And my wife got an attitude too, so
Yeah.
I tell her it's like chill sometimes because you never know
Who you talking to?
who you talking to. Is like
Yeah.
you ain't talking to people like me.
Right.
There's not a bunch of me walking around out there.
Right.
You can't say the same things you say to me when you're mad at me to somebody else. And
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that as a man. I hate that I have to say that to her.
Yeah.
Because I can't account for all men, but it's terrible. And Z was just saying like self-defense classes for young, like what the F, dudes? Like stop.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I don't get it. Why do you, why? I know we're probably wrapping up soon, but why do y'all think that that's an issue? Is it a psychological thing with men? Like they can't take rejection? Like why is it that men are persistent like that and then end up getting violent? Like I don't understand that. Do you have an explanation, Karen?
I don't know if I have an explanation, but I guess where my mind went to immediately is it more dangerous for us as Black women? I don't know. Because they feel like we don't have a right to reject them.
Ooh.
Right. because we're always perceived as more sexual and that we
Right.
want the advances.
And-
Society
and-
has told them that.
Yeah, and we don't have the right. Like, how dare you treat me that way, or how dare you
Right.
reject me because what you got better going on?
Right. Nobody
Yeah.
wants y'all anyway.
Exactly. And so that I don't know whether it's more of a thing. I think for white women, they'll get more respect. They get more respect than we do. So maybe they don't go to anger and violence as quickly. But for us, it's like, how dare you reject me? You of all people.
Right.
You know,
Oh, wow.
protecting Black women is not a new concept. We've always wanted it, always felt like it needed to happen. But I think, generationally, the more psychological damage that happens in our community from different perspectives, because we always bring up social media, but I think a lot of these things were happening prior to. We just see it all the time now.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
everywhere.
You
People
see
just
it all the
record it.
time.
Yeah.
So all of these things aren't new. But I think the lack of care and concern for the welfare of Black women is something that's been embedded in our community forever. Because at first it was out of Black men's control, right? If we look at how we were done during chattel slavery, it was out of our control. When we started to, build communities and be married and have children and have foundational structure, all those things were burned down. And then, the industrial era came. Then all those industrial complexes shut down. And now we have mass incarceration, and we have just all these different factors, I think, play into the psychological damage of a lot of our men. So a lot of these young men who, if you reject them, put their hands on you, I think they have a lot of psychological
Absolutely.
issues, because no sane person reacts like that.
Absolutely.
Because before Queen Latifah, wouldn't UNITY come out, and when she say, "Who you calling a," right? Because I don't know if we cuss on here. I'm trying to be good, but
I think that ship has sailed.
those were right. So she was like, "Who you calling a bitch?" That was in the 90s, right? So we've been dealing with that, but it's been progressing. And I think there's a lot of trauma in our communities that is going, undressed. There's a lot of social and emotional skills that are lacking in our community. There's a lot of conflict management that is lacking in our communities. And so at this point, we just teach our girls to be safe, carry a weapon, learn to fight. If there are a bunch of men and you are walking by them, avoid them. We end up putting it on the potential victim, right? Don't wear this, don't wear that. And I don't know if it's so much control versus I don't know how else to keep you safe.
Yeah.
I don't know how else, to make sure that nobody hurts or harms you. But I think it's so much deeper than that.
Right.
There is some skill set we have to be taught. And I think it's just so much and so vast that it's like, okay, where do we start? We just have to try to start at home little by little. So it's so much deeper than, them just doing it because they angry or rejected. Like, it's something psychologically wrong with them. Because there was, I don't know if it was in New York, where it was a group of men who jumped on this woman because she was like, no thanks. They jumped on her and beat her. And then it was like a group of men in that same neighborhood who went and looking for these people, right? But it was I just think there's so much trauma, surrounded by that.
I think that I agree with you on the things that you said, and I think I would love to see, and I feel like there's a need to see more Black men who are holding other Black men accountable for the violence that they put onto Black women at times, at periods of where they feel rejected. That's it. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I really
And sometimes
need
it's
to see
just the verbal, just verbal.
Yeah.
Sometimes even hold them accountable when it's still verbal. You know what I'm saying? To try to cut it off.
Right.
But I've had just the words that come at us at times are enough to just break your spirit.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether men are aware that those words are so damaging. But then at the same time, I do have to say, a lot of times, because we don't have anything else to fight with, a lot of times we're fighting with our words as well. I think we need to be careful as a people how we engage with each other.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe one time I was in I still remember this dude. bum dude. Oh God, hope he's dead. Anyway,
Oh.
I was literally a child walking home, elementary school, backpack on, everything. This older man, I'm working with a group of other children. Older man comes walking down the street or whatever. He's talking and saying stuff, and I'm like, dude, you're old. And then he goes on, well, F you little black B. Literally, I didn't know at the time register that he was possibly a predator. But he was literally trying to talk to and then once I literally told him like, oh, you're old, he went in on me. Naturally, we're children. All the other kids thought it was funny that he was calling me BHs and I ain't, I better shut up and stuff like that, or he'll gonna push me in the road, and like just verbal abuse coming from an older black man at like 10, 11, 12, 13. And then all from that then on, it just down here from there. Catcall. And then now I see myself, I don't even tell them I'm in a relationship. I don't say no thank you or anything like that. I just straight up, either if I can look at them and do something crazy, like I don't know, like I would have to be put in a situation, because I just do random stuff sometimes.
Just a backflip.
Yeah.
Don't do something strange.
Or something strange,
Start
or say
scratching.
something that really put him off or something. Or I'd be like, oh yeah, like I like to do ritualistic stuff, and I like to drink blood. Is that something like you're into?
That is great.
I like to like slice. I put knife between my toes and sometimes my fingers. Is that something that you like to do with me one time as a date? Like, and then that will like be like, okay, because like, I have to now be the aggressive crazy one. And that's what I've trained myself to be in. And I told my now boyfriend that. He was like, why don't you just why are you doing all that? You're not supposed to be, don't be doing all that. You just tell him why are you afraid to tell me this? Because I was like, that don't work, baby. Tell him I have a boyfriend. That makes him even, okay, well, what
Now
he
you're
do? What can I do? Yeah, now
Yeah.
it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Now he's getting even more like, okay, well, let me get your number and I can show you this and this.
Yeah.
I've heard it all.
I say it as I'm walking away.
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
I'm in a relationship. Okay, bye. There was
Yeah,
never a stop
yeah.
anywhere.
Right. I've been following, walking and talking. Well, what you trying to get into? Like, because I see you and I'm walking out. I was with a group of friends at club, just walking. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you the dark one right there. Yeah, you got a man. You got. Yeah, I do. I'm with my friends right now. I'm not interested. Oh, well, what y'all trying to get into? Hey, I'm talking to you. I'm trying to da. And I guess because the eyes were shifting towards him, he saw more people watching him follow us. That was enough to make him stop in the middle of the road and turn around and stop. But if I feel like if it wasn't that type of setting, he would have continued to follow me and my group of friends.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I'm trying to
gross.
tell you.
I think we have had a very good conversation today.
Yeah, it was good,
thank
ladies.
you. Thank you for being real, guys, because it's I think we need to have these conversations. We will have another one with a couple of the men and a couple of the women. But I think we need to hear where each other are coming from, because I don't think there's a whole lot of listening going on. I don't think there's a whole lot of authenticity going on either. Like we keep talking about the social media thing, how much of that is real?
Right.
So let's sit together in a real space, look in each other's eyes and have those conversations, those things that you won't say to somebody in their eyes that you will type in the comment section.
Right.
You know, will you say that in my face? You know, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I think we need to continue having these conversations. I am concerned about the state of Black dating and Black courtship, because how are we going to have a community and a culture if we can't engage with each other, right?
Right.
So thank you, Miss Janice, for being
Thank
on
you
with
for
us
having
today.
me. I appreciate you so much, and all the ladies and the gentlemen too.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies, and we will be in contact about future opportunities to continue this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All righty. So thank you, sir, Phil.